Men in Armchairs proudly presents to you.
You know, he got a bicycle. He got a bicycle from somebody. Who will be riding a bicycle in this arena? I don't know. Where did that come from?
Hello, welcome to He's Got a Bicycle, hopefully.
Yeah, bicycle.
I got back up in this arena.
Here's the thing.
And the reason we're laughing, folks, is because we thought we were recording for the last 5 minutes. It turns out, no. So what you missed was, I made a mistake on the number. It's supposed to be 88, not 2010. Boss had a fraud call that we decided to listen into.
Yeah.
Who hung up once he asked the question about the accident.
Yeah. Basically, just to give a bit of context, we started recording, or at least we thought we had recorded. It wasn't recorded this entire time. And we had to pause the recording for me to take a scam call, where it's one of those, oh, hi, I'm calling just in regards to that little bump you had, that car accident. All I said was, oh, is that the Ford Focus?
Other cars are available.
Yeah. And she's like, what? I went, oh, is it the one with the Ford Focus? And she hung up. So
other cars I have an accident with are available.
Yeah, I mean, there's me just giving her bait. And she's just like, I've never dealt with this before. John, what do I do?
Shit, I've hung up.
Yeah, and then that's when we found out that we hadn't been recording. So basically, you've missed some hilarity. So now we can't be as funny as we're going to be. I'm terribly sorry.
No, but needless to say, we'll try. Because otherwise, what's the point? Now, we are
MIA in many, many ways.
Yes, we also explained that the reason that we were missing from action was because the Elimination Chamber was spoiled for us, because I was asked by a friend mid-afternoon on a Monday, which by which point I usually would have watched the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Or been watching the pay-per-view with Boss for a Byecycle episode. But obviously we weren't, because we're going to try and change the schedule so that we'll now be recording on a Tuesday, so it fits in better with our actual lives, due to other commitments that we have. And on top of that as well, Boss was woken up by the BBC telling him, yo, Miz for the championship, and we both had zero interest in watching that show. Like, we were interested in it beforehand, but we had zero image to watch the full show in one go with a spoiler.
I mean, I watched it purely for science, but other than that...
You know, I think I'm only halfway through it so far. Like, I generally think. However, I have watched all of December, January, February, and March of WCW wrestling to lead up to our show today.
Yes.
Because our show today is in fucking amazing period of time. It is the equinox, as we learned also on our pre-recording, of myself and Boss being born. The difference between us is 2 years and 2 months, so 26 months. And we learned that was 14 months in the gap would be this pay-per-view. That was a show.
I was born 87, he was born 89. There you go. So this is 88.
1988. We are in fucking pure nature, boy.
Woo! Never see it riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun!
Now, not only are we in pure nature boy like country right now, we are in Four Horsemen era. The best Four Horsemen era.
Yeah.
Now, tonight we're going to see a couple of big matches, or one at least iconic match from this period of time from Jim Crockett Wrestling, because the main event of Clash of Champions 1 was Sting versus Ric Flair. And it was the coming out party for the Stinger. It's Surface Sting. It's fucking what you imagine when you hear it's showtime. You know, it is, and it's pure heel nature boy. Exactly, Boss. We're also going to see Jimmy Jam Garvin versus Mike Rotunda for the Varsity Club for the NWA World Television Championship. You're going to see the United States the United States Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express versus the Fantastics. So some great era of the tag team with, of course, it's Jim Cornette's Midnight Express. You're going to see Arn and Tully for the world, defending the World Tag Team Championships against Barry Windham and Lex Luger, the Total Package. And in this period of time, there's no hate towards him. That comes in about 10 years' time. as well as that, you're going to see the likes of Dr. Death Steve Williams, Kevin Sullivan. No doubt you'll see might see some Michael P.S. Hayes. I don't really recall. But quite frankly, they stacked this up. This was a free show they gave away on a Saturday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the TBS, the Superstation. And also on the commentary, we're going to hear JR, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. No, sorry, Don. No, it's not Excalibur. Some guy called Don.
Well, and just to let everybody know, once again, the two very different sides of the MIA coin. We have Geek King, the wrestling historian, the man who's seen so much, both retroactively and, in real time. Yeah. And then there's me, who has seen fuck all.
Oh, this period of time is completely blind to you.
Exactly. So again, for those who are kind of like tuning in for the first time, that's one of the cool things about this. Geek gets to watch me kind of watch all this for the first time.
I mean, I always say this, and I'll say it all the time, that this is Stan Lee theory, if you will. I'll always tell the reason for us doing the show, but the same way you always do a recap on the first page.
Yep.
My pure reason for this entire show was, I want to watch wrestling with my best friend. Because that's one of my favourite things to do in this fucking planet.
And I just want to hang out with my best friend.
Exactly. And COVID hit, and we were like, well, fuck, we won't be able to do this. And then I went, fuck it, we will. And after we came up, we had so many names for this show before it became Byecycle. But Boss suggested Byecycle, and I was like, we're fucking, that's it. And, I mean, originally it was going to be, oh, will you stop? But we were going to do that for negative shows, for bad shows. We were going to go with the Gorilla Monsoon route. But instead we decided to stick with Byecycle, and at the end you get a little bit of Gorilla, because life's better with a little bit of Gorilla.
Always, yes. Life is always better with a bit of Gorilla. That is just truth.
So with that being said, let's get things underway. As always, we will start at a count of 3, and it's 3, go. Okay.
Yes.
So
it's hang on. Isn't it 1 then go?
No, it's 3, 2, 1, play.
Yeah, but you said 3. Then
I know what I said.
I mean, so did we. That's the confusing part. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all other configurations of being, to see life of Markiplier, do not skip the intro.
Yes, don't skip the intro.
Otherwise, you'll be way the fuck off, and we're not able to help you at that point.
Yeah, and also ignore the typo in the description.
Yeah. I mean,
Ric Flair death-neds the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Sting.
I mean, look. Sometimes mistakes happen, and it's just best to be like, fuck it.
It's also best to point it out. And also, yes, today's t-shirt of choice is the new Keith Lee Limitless Legion. Because I will always, injured or not, bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory.
And my t-shirt of choice is what I was basically wearing when I woke up early hours in the morning after a seizure. So, but I
should have been wearing my own t-shirts, but they're in a different room.
Yeah, I do have my bookmark shirt, which is available at Redbubble. Is it redbubble.geek or is it geek?
It's geekking.redbubble.com. That's G33K King.redbubble.com.
Right, Geek, why don't you get this fucking party started?
Will do. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and anyone that describes themselves or identifies themselves as different, in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh. I was straight there with a nature, but look how 80s this is, boss.
Oh, God, Bennett.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we got a barbed wire match.
Oh!
That's the Barbarian, brother.
What a fucking boot!
Yeah. By the way, there's a barbed wire 6-man match in this as well.
For fuck's sake.
I didn't remember until just then. It's Dusty Rhodes and Mountain Dream, if you will, with his brothers of the Road Warriors. Versus... This looks like an advert for commemorative coins. I know. For just $2.99, you too can buy
Oh, the big gold. Arguably one of the most beautiful belts, if not the most beautiful belts in
There's
all
something
of
about the
wrestling.
World Television Championship as well I really like.
Oh no, I see what you mean. Yeah. What a music.
Western
What
States. I
a
forgot.
music.
Yeah, there's a Western States Heavyweight Championship as well. Yeah, it's the Heritage Championship as well. Oh, it's so 80s. It's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
look at that crowd though. How hot is that crowd?
Oh yeah.
And how weird is that to see an arena like that? Like, there's a good 6 foot between them and the ring. Tony Schiavone, look at the tash.
Wow.
Bob Cord.
What? Like, those microphones, man. You could get away with that today.
Do you know the thing is, right? Back in the days, well, they used to do commentary through them.
Yeah.
They didn't have headsets all the time, so they do commentary holding a mic. Weird as fuck. And we're in Flair Country as well. We're in Greensboro, guys.
Yeah.
So this was put on the...
What do you say, Tony?
Good old JR.
That... How does he have like 2 different hairstyles going on at the same time?
I don't know, but he's ahead of the game with this whole, side parting versus middle parting.
Yeah.
I'll do both.
Oh.
There's a gorgeous Jim Garvin with Precious.
Well, the world's TV title.
It's so old school that he's got to read shit off. I love that. Like, although I never saw the Fink do it. Even back in the day when the Fink was doing it in like Madison Square Garden with the old pull down and that, I don't ever recall him having cards. I mean, he probably did. I just don't recall him doing it. Look at that.
Who?
The Fink.
Oh, the Fink. No, the Fink didn't use cards. Jesus Christ, man. Like...
Are you going to hear a red hot crowd this whole show, by the way? Like...
Yeah.
That's Precious.
Whoa, that's a little risky there. Oh my god, when people actually used to do that shit, man. Ooh. I feel like we're not that far away from you blackguard.
Well, no, the mystery producer isn't here.
Oh my god.
Mike
That music and that entrance do not match.
Well, that's because Kevin Sullivan... It was weird, right? Kevin Sullivan gets the Varsity Club together. The Varsity Club, at this point, is Kevin Sullivan, Mike Rotundo, and it's... by the way, referee, Teddy Long.
I'm sorry. But...
And the other one was Scott. It was Rick Steiner, right? Look at the kid about to get in the ring. He just walked off. The kids just walked up to the stairs. And Kevin Sullivan started doing this darkness gimmick again. But they were still coming out as the Varsity Club. Still, it was fucked up. Like,
it's like doing ballet to Slipknot. It just doesn't quite work.
I know. I would love to see that.
Teddy Long.
Radar all long.
Get your tag team player jokes in now, folks.
Is he going to defend against Undertaker?
Send your best tag team jokes to us via postcard.
We don't know what's a postcard anymore. P.O. Box 123.
Oh, if we ever got a P.O. box, that would be fucking hilarious.
Although it would show how fucking popular it would be.
It's like, I don't get why our fans keep sending us this weird shit. It's like, geek, those are bills. We have to pay them.
Nah, it's not my name. I don't pay shit.
We have to keep the electricity on at the Cash Brew Castle.
Listen, the Cash Brew. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It was not addressed to the Cash Brew. It has to have the correct amount of letters.
We've got to keep the electricity on at the Boss Bastille, you know?
What I love, is that like Jim Garvin goes in the Hall of Fame as a Freebird because he was an honorary Freebird, then he was a Freebird.
Yeah.
Mike Rotundo isn't in the Hall of Fame yet, but He could go in as IRS, Mike Rotundo, Captain Mike, or just simply as the man who gave the world Bo Dallas.
But can I just say,
Yeah,
that man is a chip. That Wyndham.
yeah.
You know, it's like, because you don't get to see, like, because we see the IRS and stuff like that. We don't get to see him in this kind of video. And that man is...
Oh, Rotundo was in hell of a shape.
Yeah.
Like, he put some...
Woo!
He wasn't as cut as he was when he was IRS, like. When he was IRS, he wore a suit, and that obviously makes him bigger. But yeah, like...
This feels very much like the jock became, like, unlikely friends with the goth.
I think I was that. Like both.
It's like, yeah.
I was called a goth because I hang around with goth guys while listening to rap. And I was called a jock because they played rugby.
It's like, hey man, you want anything? I wish to dine on the nectar of the gods. What? He wants a beer.
That's about right. I mean, look at that crowd. He has simply pushed him out into the ring doing amateur wrestling, and that crowd's red hot.
Yeah.
By the way, I believe, and I'm going to guess so, that them two are still married, because Precious and Garvin were a real life couple, and in the Hall of Fame, he said, we've been together for 47 years. Wow. So I'm going to assume that they're still a couple.
The 2x4. Hacksaw Jim Duggan must be on his way.
At this point, Hacksaw is making up for getting busted with Shiki Baby.
Ah, yes. Never break kayfabe. Not in this
era. In the 80s. I mean, come on. 1987, you're caught not only in not only are you caught with a heel wrestler when you're a babyface, you're caught with a heel wrestler and both of you have drugs on you.
Yeah.
And not only are you caught with a heel wrestler while both of you have drugs on you, you're caught with the guy you're directly feuding with.
I know at least 3 people who'd be watching this throwing up with boredom right now, and I'm so happy that I'm not either of them. I mean, I'd like to have one of those people's money, but other than that,
you gonna name, or you're just gonna fucking give me?
Well, Jisby's one of them.
I gathered that much.
Vincent Mann's the other one.
I don't know. Vince liked old school wrestling when he was in the old school.
And Vince Russo.
Oh, Russo would hate this entire show.
Yeah.
Where's the story, bro?
Precious would have to be participating in a wet t-shirt contest minus the t-shirt.
Well, I mean, terrible.
He's only become a little less insufferable than Jim Cornette in recent years, but he's still a prick.
Yeah, but the problem is he's only became quote unquote less insufferable because he found Jesus, and I have to agree with something that Jim Cornette says about that.
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that when you find Jesus, it's just because you're a dick?
Yeah, it's because nobody else would want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I'm pretty certain the big news regarding this match is that man's hair.
Who, Jimmy Jam?
Yeah, Jesus. Why is it the ones that are labeled gorgeous and stuff like that have the worst hair?
Hey. This is the 80s. Perms were in.
God, that just reminds me of the Alan Davies fucking Nat West adverts.
Hey, think about Kevin Keegan and all them. They had these sort of perms. But this was that awkward stage where it was a perm and you had to have a beginning of a mullet going on as well. And I've only ever seen 2 people pull the mullet off.
Well, they shouldn't pull so hard.
Hold on. But no, 2 people that actually looked kind of good with a mullet.
Uh-huh.
Shawn Michaels could rock a mullet, but I believe Shawn Michaels looks good just anyway.
Yeah.
And Patrick Swayze. Because Swayze didn't really have a mullet, but he had a mullet.
Yeah.
And Diesel never really... They say Diesel had a mullet, but to me, Diesel's hair went, seemingly overnight, went from, I've got a mullet to, I've just got long, luxurious hair.
Yeah. It was mullet light.
Yeah. Whereas Billy Gunn's mullet had a mullet.
I love this kind of wrestling, but I have no fucking clue what's going on.
It's basically, it's a TV championship match. That's all it is. It's just old school wrestling. It's the Varsity Club are heels because they've been using underhanded tactics while using like legitimate wrestling as well.
That's a bit low.
Yeah,
That's a bit low.
Either that or Jimmy Jam's a bit big.
I mean, I'm sure he won't mind you saying so.
We don't hear Byron Saxton said about the time he got stunned by Stone Cold.
Yeah, I watched it.
He kicked him in the nuts, and what the best thing was, he stunned him, but like Austin apparently went, "Sorry about that, kid. Yeah. You're a bit low there." Because Austin said, "The new jeans." Like, he's giving him some excuses. But Byron's lying there going, "Yeah, me nuts hurt, but I just got stunned by Austin." Like,
I'm pretty sure my response would have been, "It's not that you could have missed."
Oh, Jesus
How
Christ.
dare you, sir?
Well, the thing is, so the storyline for this whole thing, right, has been that Jimmy Garvin has a history with Kevin Sullivan. Oh.
Sure.
That's his version of the Brain Buster. I think the match is over. I think he counted him down. But there's Rick Steiner. Look at the size of young Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
Got you too. You got to be careful here because at one point, they were using a coat hanger to choke wrestlers out. Oh, Preston is going nuts.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get that.
I am uncomfortable.
So, as a heel, they had been doing it to face wrestlers, and they'd threatened to do it to Precious as well. So that's it's only bad if the heel does it type rule, you know?
Yeah.
That old trope there. Fucking hell. I think Kevin Sullivan really wasn't going to let go of Precious there, and that made me uncomfortable. That made me more uncomfortable than the choking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. Kevin Sullivan.
I always feel it's a brave man that wears white trunks.
Oh yeah, very much so. What happens if you have a Yoko incident, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it's the Deadpool line as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You should have worn the brown trunks.
Yeah.
or even more so, the Jim Ross line.
Yeah.
He's happy he's wearing dark pants.
Yeah. Well, it's based upon the old sea captain joke.
Yeah. Yeah, so at some point during that Rotunda won. But I think it was because he played amateur rules, so he just had to pin him by one.
Yeah, that was it. Later in the show, Flair defends his title.
Woo! Can I have this music on a loop so I can play it during the fucking stream?
Well, the Twitch stream starting soon.
Yeah. Returning soon.
Twitch.tv/geek.
Geek.
Yeah. Dr. Death, you were so wronged.
Well, someone's asked a question on Byecycle recently, right? Mm-hmm. Not Byecycle, sorry. I'm getting confused with another great podcast. Something to wrestle with. Don't know if you've heard of it. But someone asked Bruce, what would happen if WWE had bought UWF instead of Jim Crockett? And he goes, what would happen to like to Sting and Dr. Death? He goes, I don't know if Sting may have crossed over. I don't know about that yet. He goes, but Dr. Death would have been such a good heel for the Hulkster.
Yeah.
He's such a badass. Like, a legitimate badass.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob Good knocked him out,
but look at the fucking size of him.
Oh, yeah. He's a two-sport athlete in Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner. He wrestled. He used to finish American football games, right?
Yeah.
And then go to wrestling meets. That's unheard of.
I swear his beard and hair are the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's all connected.
Like, he can take it off at night. Like,
yeah.
Completely.
It's like he goes to bed and his beard and hair go out drinking. But boy, often you hear that in wrestling. It's like, yeah, bye-bye, take care.
Is it just me as well?
That's amazing.
Is it just me as well? Bye-bye is like such a nice way of saying it, but like kind of a gentle way of saying it. Oh,
like
this is gonna be fucking amazing.
A guy called Dr. Death goes, bye-bye, take care. That's amazing. Like, that would be an awesome heel thing as well. Just like, all right, bye-bye, take care, everyone. Just like, oh, you wholesome dick. Which I feel, yeah. Oh, fuck off. Oh, God.
So he always came out with something different, right? And that one's a little bit creepy. But my favorite one is he used to call them the gangsters of love, and I was like, ooh, that's cool. That's actually kind of.
I don't know what it is other than the others, but there's something about his face there that triggered almost like a PTSD in me. There's like
It's oily as fuck.
it's like the face that Cornette made reminded me of someone from my past that I'm uncomfortable with. And I'm like,
An ex.
who the an ex? Jesus Christ! Fuck hell.
He's missing his glasses, so it automatically puts you off. Like,
Yeah.
Corny without his glasses it's not right. It's like when I take my glasses off, people often say that I don't look the same. They also say they can't see my eyes, which you can barely see with glasses on. Like,
Yeah.
But we're gonna have
it's like, no, neither can I.
but they're gonna have some absolutely. This is gonna be a great match, just because these two always had great matches. These tag teams, Midnight Express are one of my favorite tag teams of all times. And the Fantastics are one of those underrated teams because they never made it to the WWE. Well, neither did the Midnight, to be fair. We had the new Midnight Express in the WWE. Bodacious Bart and Bombastic Billy or some. Bob. But,
Just Bob.
no, it was Bombastic Bob and Bodacious Bart.
I just like the idea of it, just Bob.
Fucking ridiculous.
Like, made his way in the ring! Bob.
I don't know why they had to make them fucking, like... It's fucking the same with a chair and, as the match began. Like...
What the fuck is going on?
Tag team wrestling.
It's that what?
It's non-stop. Like, here's the thing: the excuse that I've heard from millions of people, right, about why they call them Bodacious Bart and Bombastic Bob, which are stupid fucking names, is that because they had to be the same, they had to be illiterate. Fucking hell, because Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan, yeah, but the other one was Loverboy Dennis Condrey. Like, look at Jim run to Jim run. Oh. I bet he couldn't. If he tried to move that quick now, he'd have a heart attack.
The only thing that runs that quickly is his mouth
and his arse.
Yeah,
you know when fucking Wendy's decide, you know what? Don't give him the full fucking bit. Only cooked that halfway through. Just make it look like it's cooked.
The only thing I'll say about Coda is that at least he was willing to suffer.
Oh, very much so. Well, I've just been watching, obviously, as I said before, I watched like 3 months of WCW to catch up on storylines.
Yeah.
And that's not terrible. It's like an hour and a half, and the shows are really good because it's studio wrestling, you know? So it's just, they're in a studio, you get a few squash matches, it's very rare to get a competitive match, and there's a lot of promos and highlights to show you.
Yeah.
Look at that, that's a beautiful tag team.
That's you don't get a lot of that these days.
You know, I know it's stupid, but the only team that you get that from is FTR. How the fuck did Sweet Stan get himself in the trio wall like that?
Talent.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like I say, you know, I'm a big component of tag team wrestling. I heard someone recently say one of their pet peeves in wrestling was tag team matches because it always follows the same formula of you beat one, the heels beat. The babyface is getting a hot start. The heels then work on a like opponent. Hot tag finish. And I'm like, okay. So do you not like wrestling in general?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like if your problem is that wrestling is formulaic, it's like
you got a bigger problem.
It's I hate to break it to you, but every story ever told is always told in 3 stages.
Yes. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now you can switch.
Yeah.
You can switch those ends around, But I'm going to tell you right now, you can start at the end, but you're still going to have a beginning, because that will be the end, a middle, and then you actually conclude the fucking result. Like,
it's like every story is basically foundation, conflict, resolution.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many acts you have, every act is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, you start there, you find it, you get to like a climactic point.
That would look stiff as fuck.
Yeah.
You know the irony here as well, right? Is Beautiful Bobby's obviously the bigger one out of the two in the tag team.
Yeah.
He's the high flyer.
Well, you know,
He was the one he was one of the few that was known for high flying wrestling particularly in the South, but in like the States at this point in time. Like his leg drop, generally in the studio at one point, he's moving lights out the way above him so he can jump.
Yeah, but now we live in a world where, you know, like I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for fucking Keith Lee to be like, "You do 450. I could throw a few more numbers on there."
Keith Lee starts training with fucking Ricochet while he's off rehabbing.
Like,
hey kid, how'd you do that spot where you don't come back down from sky? I fly. Yeah, how'd you do that? Yeah, how'd you do that? Oh, I just fly. Okay.
I just think of happy thoughts.
Yeah, and then imagine if that was the case as well. Keith Lee would go, "Well, shit, I'm always happy." Like, and
like,
it's very difficult. One of my favorite things is when you see Keith Lee's facial expression change to mean. Like,
oh yeah,
it's the Austin syndrome for me of when he goes from laughing to just like that. He just becomes what a power slam.
It is my favorite Austin thing.
Yeah, it's laughing to serious.
It's my favorite Austin thing.
When he was GM, he did it a few times in a row, didn't he? But never hit them, and then he finally hit them. If it was Christian.
Yeah, Coach was another one.
Yeah,
Coach was when Coach did the whole. I don't know why Vincent Mann's worried about getting his head shaved because, as you may prove, bald
is beautiful.
Is beautiful, and then also did the whole. That's if you're on Discord, type in Steve Austin, you'll probably find that very GIF.
Yeah.
And I'll say GIF until the day I die because fuck anyone that says GIF.
It's a soft G.
But that's for a different show.
For starters,
not one that not a show that we do, but it's some show.
Also, it's a soft G. It's a GIF. We're not Scandinavian. We're not going to say yogurt.
Oh, but the person who invented it, I don't give a shit what they say.
Guess what? He can be wrong as well.
Exactly.
I doubt he said it I bet he said it like that, and then he wrote it out, and everyone went, "Well, that says GIF, mate."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but he invented it. Yeah, the people who invented cornflakes thought it would stop masturbation. All right, it's fucking. Sometimes the people who invent shit are wrong.
I mean, cornflakes Cornflakes that boring. It could probably drive me to masturbation.
Yeah, it's like fucking. Where's the sugar?
Where's the fucking blandness?
Yeah, it's just.
I'm not a fan of cornflakes, are they? Give me some rice. Give me some ricicles.
I like crunchy nut cornflakes. I mean, they are ludicrously tasty.
Well, you got the you like the honey nut crunchy nut cornflakes, and that's because it's got the taste of honey, and you got all the nuts in there. So you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Cornflakes are just fucking.
If I'm feeling like rewarding myself or like just treating myself, or if I'm just having a bad time.
Oh, what a heel tactic!
Crunchy nut cornflakes. So crunchy nut clusters.
I don't mind a crunchy nut cluster. I'm a shreddy guy.
I tell you what I used to love. I tell you what I used to love as a kid. Fucking Frosties.
I still love Frosties.
I haven't had Frosties in years. I'd probably die.
Yeah. It would always stimulate me massively.
It's like, I'm one of those weird people that you would think anything could potentially kill me at this point, but everything is tried.
I haven't.
I'm like Bernie Burns. It's like Bernie Burns. I'm like Mr. Burns, where it's like all the germs are trying to push you the door, but they get jammed, so they're, so you're immortal.
I love you too much to try and kill you.
What's that?
I love you too much to try and kill you.
Yeah, well. That's my way of saying I still have no idea what he said, because my brain isn't working.
Ah, great. We're going to get halfway through this fucking show and you're going to pass out.
I've not slept yet. All right, I have been dealing with bullshit all day.
I know.
Did my voice just break there?
It sounded a little bit like it. Yeah. You're a little bit 13-year-old boy, yeah.
Mr. Johnson, it happened again. I will say that I had full-blown tired delirium this morning after being on the phone with people who fucked up royally with me. So
Yeah, I can imagine that, brother.
woohoo! But my God, like again, this is a period of time when wrestling attire was pick a primary color.
Oh yeah, and then Ravishing Rick Rude and these lot come around and like, what do you mean you want to wear silver? And you want a rainbow on the back of it? You're fucking mad, man.
Yeah.
Ravishing Rick Rude turns up and goes, "Can I have like a face on me crocs?"
Yeah.
Whose face? My face.
Yeah. And then several years later, it's like, but what I would like is my right leg gets really cold, but my left leg's a little too hot. So, you know.
I still think someone paid a fucking rib on him and he just went with it.
Yeah.
Someone just cut his fucking tights and he went, "Oh, fuck it, I've got to go on show.
I will wear it as armor so it may never hurt me." It's like, Game of Thrones is not meant to be motivational, kid.
Zack Ryder's not allowed to watch that. It's well past his fucking bedtime it's on.
I don't know if he can afford to watch it, given he's on Impact.
I think Zack, I don't think it's even that he's on Impact. I think the fact that he spends that much on toys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you gotta love
Oh, wait. Oh, look at that. Referee didn't see it, so he can't tag.
Yeah.
And now Cody.
Yeah.
He's a heel.
Oh! He just threw the ref out.
That's a DQ. On the head. Oh, no. Not beautiful, Bobby.
Yeah. Can't be disqualified if the ref isn't in the match. Although, for throwing the referee out, I must state that you will respect
That's a different referee.
the ref.
A different referee made a call there.
No. It's not going to be. It's going to be a dusty finish, I think.
Well, you'd have to in Dusty booking, like, wouldn't you? Huh?
No. He says no. Say no.
Look, he's a good guy. He wanted to give the belt back, but didn't know what to do, so he just dropped it.
Like, oh, Jesus Christ, Jim.
Look, he's going to hit the ref.
Fucking... Why would you hit the ref that was on your side?
Because he's a fucking moron. Oh, flapjack. Look at that.
Jesus. I don't like...
I mean, they're the originators of the flapjack, right? Or the double flapjack, anyway. And it's one of my... Yeah. It's generally one of my favourite... Oh, he's going to whip the fuck out of him.
I feel like the best double flapjack is Edge and Christian.
Dudley boys. They used to grab Spike by the ankles.
I mean, come on, that's Spike.
Yeah, but they look amazing. No, I love the... I don't know how Coney used to do that when he could barely walk.
Jim, like, he could move like a wrestler.
He's hitting the referee.
What the fuck, Jim?
That was a different referee.
Oh my god. You know, oh fuck, I think I know what it is.
What?
It reminds me of like a really ugly Jake Peralta.
Yeah, I can see that. But here's the thing as well, right? What you just saw is what a lot of wrestlers see when his wife was interviewing.
I was about to say, it does seem like a no face.
When his wife was making sure that they were fit enough for the chop.
Not that we're suggesting that it is true. We are just
making fun of a rumour.
Of course. Whether that is true or not, we do not know, and we are not to say. However, we will rip the piss out of him.
Yes. Because he's a heel.
Because he probably likes it.
Do it to it properly. Motherfucker. No, not like that.
I swear to God! You better go down in the bad again!
Goddamn face.
Oh no.
And this is calf killer. That's what they used to call it, right? Calf killer. And they don't mean the fucking leg either. They mean the animal. They've been hyping this up. So the storyline behind this, right? Storyline behind this, there is a story. It's not just done because they want to fuck up Impact. You know. The story is the new Leave It to Beaver. Celebrities sure did change back in the day, didn't they? Look, it's Jim Cornette with Leave It to Beaver. I was gonna tell the story, but I've lost boss because it's fucking ridiculous.
Well, hello there.
How you doing?
He started off Irish.
I know. So essentially, the storyline for the barbed wire match, right, is that you know when you said what a kick.
Yeah.
That was the Barbarian and the Warlord, the Powers of Pain, and Ivan Koloff, who are part of Paul Jones's army. They attacked. They were doing a weightlifting competition with the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
They put heavier weights on during the actual thing. The Road Warriors demanded to go for 600 straight away, get it over with. They attacked him and they ram Road Warrior Animal's face into the weights that broke his orbital bone right in, pushed it right back. Hold on, we're going to listen to Gary Hart. One of my favourite managers of all time.
Yeah, which we discussed in an episode of TMO. Wow.
Great manager.
What a fucking voice.
Yeah, I know, right? You can see right now why he's been given a manager.
Yeah. Okay. This is what happens on TW when you allow one person to be unscripted. Oh, how have I not seen his work?
Oh, Gary Hart is one of those most underrated managers in history because in an era of managers, he didn't work for the WWE. He never went up to New York. He stayed in the Texas majority of the time. He was in Florida Championship Wrestling. He actually managed the American Dream just before the face turned to become the American Dream. What? Well, I'll say quickly before they announce this, because this is for the tag team tournament, they're going to announce the top 10 seeds, is what they did, they broke the orbital bone.
Yeah.
And with that, they ended up going, Sting Ron Garvin? Okay. Varsity Club. And that led to him a mask, and led to an escalation of feuds, and they won the 6-man tag team championships. The Powers of Pain did. Pronouns, pal. And then eventually we got to the escalation of so much violence that they just Dusty Rhodes and Adam Dream as you will said, what we're going to do is get some calf killer. You know, the type of barbed wire that if a lady walked past it in a skirt she'd be wearing, she'd walk past it and all she'd see the sunshine afterwards, if you get what I'm saying.
She could not sound more bored.
Actually, the wife of a promoter, not the or the former wife of a promoter, sorry, the widow.
Which is why I would ask, why the fuck get her to do it?
I think it's just because of who she is. Like, because at this point, Jim Jr. is obviously running the business, and David is working as an announcer. Not a great announcer, but he's a good interview guy. And that's why he's wearing the mask as well. That's to protect him from the for his injuries. But look at the Dream. Dream is face painted up and ready to go.
Jesus.
Size of Hawk. You know, Hawk used to be able to flex and pop that off his neck. There's footage of it from an interview. He'd just go like that, pop, and it would just pop. Because here's this thing that always I love is that they're both massive individuals, the Road Warriors. And they are my number one team of all time. I grew up wanting to have the face paint and the spikes and everything else.
Yeah.
Fuck, I had a mohawk for a few years just because of it. And the great thing about like the Road Warriors is that Hawk used to wind up Animal because he was in better shape. He was more ripped. He was more cut. So Animal would go out there and lift heavier weights and tell him what's the fucking matter. Like, they would wind each other up in the gym to lift heavier. The fucking madness, man. I mean, and look at the size of Barbarian and Warlord, for fuck's sake.
See, if this was Monday, we would know which team was winning already. Didn't get an entrance, they're fucked. You got the Ascension treatment.
Oh, the Ascension wish they had the fucking career of the Powers of Pain.
Oh god!
I love the fact that Powers of Pain is probably the most famous, like out of the two, like out of the Barbarian. Well, for Warlord, it's definitely the most famous tag team. But for Barbarian, it's his second famous tag team because eventually he will go on to be a part of the Faces of Fear, where he will team up with his cousin.
Yeah. So who's with Ivan Koloff for the Warlords here?
That's Paul Jones, very good referee. Once again, it's very southern, mainly Texas. He was number one Paul Jones. He was of that tradition in the South of a old school fucking dropkick from Hawk. Of old school. There you go. Old school of the tradition from the South of wrestler for a few decades, retire or get injured, and suddenly you become a manager. Especially if you can do a promo. Like that's what happened with Precious Paul. James J. Dillon. I don't know if Gary Hart had a wrestling career, but I know that Gary Hart, to me, is. Oh, I just wished if he got into the big time, his mind would have been working great for the like, not just for like the manager side of things, but as a part of creative, he would have helped out massively. You know, like
yeah.
I was like, but yeah, I mean. I mean, here's the thing as well. Obviously, they get called rip-offs because they've got the face paint and they've got the haircuts and stuff like that. But the Barbarian and the Warlord end up going up to WWE later this year, maybe even in a few months' time. And as the Powers of Pain, imagine that now. A tag team is not only big enough that they, after a 6-month run or something down south, they go up to WWE. They keep their name, they keep their gimmick, they keep their look. Vince doesn't do anything to change them apart from he turns Demolition face and gives you the heel manager of Mr. Fuji. That's all he did. He brought them in as heels, they stayed heels, and it's Survivor Series of this year. So definitely within the next. Oh, you see, that's the thing. Can't put your hand on the fucking rope.
Nope. Thanks, I hate it. I hate everything about this. All this is just wrong.
I know.
It's the wrongiest wrong that ever wronged.
At least they won't. At least they haven't said the ring will explode and it won't. And then they try and play it off like it was fucking supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Because your main event guy who was supposed to blow up after the show turned around and went, "He's a tough son, bitch, but he can't build an exploding ring for shit."
What's been said is that it was an outside contractor that was responsible for the explosions, which is like, okay,
listen, I know
that doesn't explain why it's shit.
Listen, I know explosions are supposed to be like, you know, they're always pyro and the smoke and stuff like that that make you think it's gone off and stuff like that. And it looked great on the ropes. It did. It generally looked all right on the ropes. But when you did the big explosion at the end, and we had sparklers and a fucking smoke pyro that was nowhere near the fucking ring. Like,
yeah,
that was what I was like, bullshit. I literally watched it, and I know we're getting off topic here. I watched it, and I generally turned around and went, that it?
Yeah.
I haven't been underwhelmed like that since Rey Mysterio was number 30 in the Rumble.
Oh, God. Sweet fuck all, apparently.
You know, that's generally what I felt. But they did save it this week on Dynamite. I'll say that much.
The Eddie Moxley promo was
fucking good. Hilarious. I love that. It's 1998 forever in my mind, bro. I look good on pay-per-view because I like the fact that he just went. You could have come out earlier.
Yeah.
But no, you gotta get your eyebrow cut and get your Timbs on. There you go, it's over. Because I said to the mystery producer,
yeah,
about the match. I went, "You seen it?" And obviously he's a big Mox and Omega fan.
Yes, he's a huge Mox fan.
And oh shit, they took the mask off him.
What an asshole.
They're gonna attack him up. Yep. Chain right into the fucking injury. But yeah, like I asked him and he went, yeah. So he said it out there. And I remember I was like, and I just explained my point. I went, the whole match kind of summed up my opinion on AEW.
Yes.
There was loads of great spots. There was a lot of entertaining stuff that was great. But somehow, one way or another, they kind of fucked it up. Like,
yeah.
And generally, mate, I've said this off air to Boss a lot of times.
Yes.
To me, it's a better funded TNA during the Jeff Jarrett run era of it.
Yes.
And there is nothing more proof of that than their big reveal as mystery of the signing.
Yes.
Because I literally turned around and went, this is exactly how he revealed himself on TNA.
And pretty much the same music.
Yeah, I was like, down to the countdown and the music. Like,
yeah, which by the way, in case I was trying to place it, where is it? It's Evanescence, My Last Breath.
I was like, it's fucking the same.
Yeah.
And also, Tony Khan, you can't pay for that, but you can get Jungle Boy his special theme for Dark. Sorry, for every show he's on. So, Dark.
It does feel weird because, like,
it feels weird because they've got this great new concept of elevation and bringing new talent in and letting them get a chance. Been a beer star, woohoo, TV! And then they brought Christian in and they brought fucking Sting in and they brought Big Show in and like I'm sitting there going, who's next, Kane?
Yeah.
Like apparently John Cena is out of contract for WWE and he hasn't talked to them at all about anything since last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And my thing, and then everyone was like, "Oh, Cena is all elite." I was like, "That will never fucking happen.
That'll never happen."
And I don't care how much money you throw at him. Cena is a lifer.
Yeah.
Even when he's not there, he will represent the company.
But what I love is that we now have a situation in AEW where you could have Cage versus Cage in a cage.
Have you seen the fucking Nicolas Cage versus Brian Cage versus Nick Cage versus with Diamond Dallas Page on commentary? Look at Nikita Koloff. He was a monster. You can't understand what he says, by the way. Because he's got that fake Russian accent on, and he sounds like he's gargling.
Yeah, like, with the way he's talking, at any point does he start wearing a mask and trying to fingers in his mouth?
Yeah, high on sport. Yeah, because he was. So he was the evil. So he was the. Here's the thing, right? He was the evil Russian commie.
Yep.
And then, of course, in 88, 87, 88, 89, the fall of the Soviet Union happens, right?
Yeah.
But at this point, he's been converted. He's part of the superpowers with the mechanisms of the old, if you will.
Yeah.
So now he's a good guy. He's trying to get kids off drugs. Get high on sports, not drugs. But all he's doing here is gargling random bullshit.
Yeah.
I've legitimately had volume on better than I have now.
Yeah.
So obviously the lower the volume, the harder it is to hear him anyway.
Yeah.
But I've had it on like a good volume like you would if you were just watching it at home and like, you know, on the TV or something, right? I've still sat there, what did he say? The only thing I ever make out is my superpower partner, Dusty Rhodes. That's the only thing I ever make out.
He still makes more sense than Ultimate Warrior.
Well, yeah, but I think that's just because Warrior, like...
Where's he actually from?
I think Nikita, he's a Minnesota boy. Or at least he's...
Right.
I'm going to double check that, but I think he was trained by Vaughn Gagne. As most fucking wrestlers at this period of time.
His voice reminds me of an impression that you do, which is I can't remember which wrestler it is, but it's like I didn't hurt him, but I could hurt him, but I would hurt him.
Oh, that's Superfly.
Superfly, yes, that's the one.
Listen, Don Morocco, you could have hurt me, but you didn't hurt me, but you maybe hurt me a little bit, but you didn't hurt me at all.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck. Okay, we're now having a World Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah. Defending against Luger and Barry Windham, which were a red-hot babyface at the time. Yeah, he's born in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, there you go.
So, just to ruin kayfabe, because he's now a minister as well. And he was on a reality TV show about being a minister as Nikita Koloff, not his legit name.
Oh.
And the best thing about it was because it was about ministers' daughters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was so protective of his daughter, like about going on dates and stuff like that. And it was like, dude, you were a big badass in the 80s. What the fuck? I know. You're trying to make sure what happened to loads of daughters doesn't happen to your daughter.
Yes.
Anyway, Nature's probably really protective of his family. He's just not Trump. You know?
Very true.
So yeah, just to break kayfabe a little bit for you guys and maybe ruin a little bit of Nikita Koloff's mythology and image and stuff like that. His real name's Nelson Scott Simpson. Could you get more of a white boy name ever? Nelson.
Toby.
Yeah, but Toby killed people. That's a Scranton joke for you guys. You Office fans out there. I generally I've been watching a lot of obviously a lot of Barry Windham over the last few days, because that's how much time it takes me to watch 3 months of wrestling is 2 days, and Barry Windham may be the second greatest prodigy in wrestling history.
Yep.
Number 1 would be Kurt Angle. No one hit the business like Kurt Angle and just fucking exploded.
Yeah.
It's hard, and if you don't, if you're saying Kurt Angle, it's hard not to say Kurt, you know. But by the way, more Dynamite talk. I know we're about to get into this match. This match will be great, but
yeah,
I was so happy to see when Tully came back to the ring. They brought James J back as well.
Yes,
I fucking loved that little touch, and then the Arn Anderson salute at the end. I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit what side of the fence you're on against Arn and Tully. They're gonna have respect for each other when James is there, you know. He was the original architect. James J put the game plan together, man. Everybody listen to him. So this coming out of this, a story, give a background to those who maybe don't remember or don't know. The reason this is a match isn't just because they were a tag team, but because a couple of months beforehand, a Starrcade happening in November. And at that, the American Dream beat Lex Luger for the United States Championship. And at the time, Luger was a proud member of the Four Horsemen. After that match, though, he says he's going to do things his way. He says the game plan was a problem, and he quits the Four Horsemen. And you don't quit. You don't just walk. It's like the Mafia. You don't just walk away from the Horsemen. No. You don't just walk away from. That's not going to happen. So obviously he's enemy number 1. Barry Windham comes to his aid a few times. So is Ole Anderson, The Rock. So yeah, it's a fucking torture rack already. Jesus.
Yep.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Sorry, I'm now just looking for my bag, which has my sweet, delicious Pepsi in it.
Take a minute. Go ahead.
It's either that or fall asleep. I'm just saying I'm making the right choice.
Yeah, you do you, bro. I'm just watching Arn Anderson kick Lex Luger's ass. I'm in fucking heaven right now. We got classic tag team wrestling and a red hot crowd with it. And still there's more to come.
Yeah.
This could be not to sound too much like Gorilla Monsoon. This is a main event anywhere else on the planet.
Yes. I mean, we haven't even hit the halfway point.
No, that's just fucking. Oh. Even that cell job and that looked organic, and that's down to. Oh, because here's the thing, Arn Anderson to me is one of the most crisp workers there's ever been in this business. What Arn Anderson doesn't know about in-ring work and promos isn't worth knowing.
Yeah.
But the other thing for me as well was Tully Blanchard was the cool bad guy before there was such a thing. You know?
Yes.
Before he was a horseman, he was a cool bad guy. Shawn Michaels said himself, Tully was a bad guy, but you wanted to be Tully.
Yes.
And for me, not only that, Tully was also a great chicken shit heel.
Yeah.
there's a reason they were on top for so long and they worked well so long together. You know, and even, you know, whatever you feel about Lex Luger and things like that, at this point in time, it doesn't help that you come out the Horseman, because you come out the Horseman, no pun intended with my Mafia analogy earlier on. Look at that, Barry Windham held on to that the entire time.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Far back as I remember, I wanted to be a horseman.
Yeah.
You can be. I want to be in the NWO because that was the cool thing at the time. Yeah, I wanted to be in DX because that looked fun. But he's trying to wake him up. He's trying to, choke him up.
Yeah.
Steadily bring him back. By the way, at this period of time, if you win a match with a sleeper hold, you have to wake up your opponent. Otherwise, you're DQ'd. And the over the top rope rule is in effect at this point in time as well, boss. That is a DQ. You throw your opponent over the top rope.
Oh. Then I cannot utter my famous line.
Oh. Wee. But I mean, come on. There's not.
Why is it every time we come to do recording, that is the exact moment my sinuses go, oh, we're gonna go into Sniff Central.
I couldn't tell you, mate. It might be because you're talking a lot and things like that, So it could be because.
Could be. You know what I'm gonna do to save the people? I'm gonna mute myself and go fucking sort this out.
But you're gonna miss the match.
I'm going to be slightly off screen, but I can still see everything.
Okay. You haven't muted yourself. Oh, there you are. Fucking DDT there, man. I mean, Jesus. Second only to Jake, in my opinion. There it is! Yeah! Although Boss is marking out over that. Although the screen's a bit blurred, so I don't know what he's doing. Ooh! That's gonna leave a mark. Yeah, that's it. I always want to be a horseman. Being a horseman was something different, man. And I'm talking about the first time I was exposed to the horseman was fucking WCW with the horseman being Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Brian Pillman, and Chris Benoit. And eventually Mongo, Benoit, fucking Pillman jumps ship, you get Mongo, and then obviously Dean Malenko pops in there for Arn. But always want to be a horseman. There's something different about fucking. It looked awkward, but it looked nice as well. How the fuck does Barry do that? Ridiculous. Oh, that's a nasty collision. So, Boss hasn't heard a word I've said there.
I've just been seeing a lot of pain and not being able to say anything about it. But fuck me.
Well, did you see? You saw one of your favourite spots, the old spine buster from Arn.
Jeez, I know. I'm actually giving myself a massive fucking headache.
Yeah, because you've basically pressurized your head.
Yes. I thought my fucking eyes were going to be Rey Mysterio'd. Jesus Christ.
Look at this, man. This is just...
It's fucking worse than the FND.
I doubt that.
So anyway, I have sweet, sweet medication. Somewhere.
You still can't find your bag.
Oh, I found my bag. That's why I've got my Pepsi.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about.
Other sodas are available. No. I was looking for the means to resolve me sniffing every 5 seconds and annoying the viewers.
I knew that, but I also thought you were looking for your bag at the same time. So
I'll be back for it next to us.
Oh. Luger could just reach out there. I know he said Barry Windham there, like, but for a second I thought he said "fuck me, Windham." Like, I love that slingshot.
And we wouldn't be able to blame him if he said that as well.
Like,
what kind of count was that?
It was an old school NWA count.
Shit, you mean?
Where you come right back, so far back that it's actually an extra second for you to get there. Look at Wyndham fighting back, like... And the referee saw the tag. Listen to that reaction, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was almost as good as Kevin Dunn there, shooting to the manager when someone's doing a fucking hot tag.
Yeah. Get out!
I know I picked you up, but no one else was there.
Meeting of the minds! Or shoulders!
See, if you kept it simple with Luger, it was easy.
Nice, my Tully! How high up are that ref's shoulders?
I know, right? He's quite tall, isn't he?
Did he just cringe and it got locked? He was like, fuck, he's the rest of me day now. Fucking hell.
Oh.
I feel like somebody just needs to go up to him and just be like, there you go, mate. Maybe he can count properly.
Maybe just pop his head down and so he can come back up. Like, oh!
I certainly don't think he's a Pez dispenser.
No, they wouldn't. James J can't believe it.
Shenanigans. They had to cheat. They had to cheat.
Look at that fucking... That place is red hot, isn't it? Like...
Yep. Cheats. Cheaters. They are thieves.
I like how you've got all that crowd going reaction, but they've shown the spot where it happens to be like one dude like going, okay. Like, it's cool, but...
They have stolen the titles. They are thieves. They are scallywags. They are ne'er-do-wells. They are ruffians. They are braggarts, sir.
Not braggarts, surely.
Braggarts, indeed, sir. I noticed I originally said braggarts. See, JJ Dillon was basically trying to signal to Arn, look, you're knackered, have a quick sit down. He got confused, he thought it was like boxing. Like, you could have a bit of a timeout. Momentary confusion, he got caught up in the excitement. And the fucking balls of Lesnar and Barry Windham to be like, well, we will cheat. It's fucking instant.
And then James J, he just got caught up trying to like inform the referee, and he fell into the ring.
I know, it's fucking disgusting. Fucking.
Because we've put another dime in the meter. Oh yeah, the celebrity judges, by the way, for this, in case they go to a draw and it's declared a fucking judge's decision.
Because that's who you want judging it. Celebrities.
Well, each wrestler chose one of the judges.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I know. Because Nate chose the penthouse pet of the year. And I wonder why. It wasn't for a wrestling knowledge, I know that much.
I mean, that's not as dumb as it could have been.
See, look at the fucking group you've got there.
Isn't he from fucking Home Improvement or something?
No, this is I think it's the Leave It at Beaver crew.
Wow, look at all the people who know him.
She doesn't know what she's there for.
Yeah.
From the hit television series, What's the Card? Yeah, Jason Hervey, the star of the Wonder Year, but not the one you wanted, was it? Everyone, you think Wonder Years, you think Fred Savage.
Unless you're me, you think, what?
Very big TV series about the nice times.
Ric Flair. Nope, it's Sting.
No, it's Sting!
Or if you're on my side of things, what you heard was Sting!
Well, I've got a noise gate on to make sure I don't fucking blow the sounds off people's ears.
Yeah, just Sting!
And also, so they don't hear the fucking fairy that is running the little airplane in the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because I've got a fucking Gen 1 PS4, guys, and the fans are louder than a motherfucker. That
was a lot of M's.
Yeah, I didn't mean it to be. Lemony fresh.
You did not disappoint.
I'm ready to.
That is true.
The Nature Boy.
Woo.
Styling and profiling like only the Nature Boy can. You must have loved it when you got to WWE and they actually had fucking railings around the crowd. Or just a rope off, please don't.
With a tear in my eye.
I have been unharassed. That's it, Tommy. Come on, Tommy. That boy. Oh yeah, I forgot about this stip.
Yeah. What was it, ref? It would have been a lot easier just to sit on the rope. Yeah, just let you know.
I think he did, but he was too light. so he has to.
I have never had that problem. I'm sad to say.
Me neither. Also, why does Teddy Long think he's special? Look at the fucking crowd! Like, the fucking crowd are pushing the foot in the fucking...
The cast of the Golden Girls.
Crowd are rocking that. I bet James can't wait until he gets higher so he's not actually fucking rocked around. And for some reason, there's paint fucking tins on the top of it to balance it out.
You would never get past health and safety these days.
Well, no, have you seen the fucking stipulation when they do that? They've got more fucking ratings than they do outside WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's just like, we cannot allow that at all. What about Enzo Amore? There are exceptions.
What about Chris Jericho? Oh, we don't want to, but Vince said he'd like it to happen, so we'll make it happen.
The rich don't pay fines; they pay costs, really.
Yeah. It's like the Kings of Comedy used to smoke. The Kings of Comedy, for those who aren't aware, is Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hewley, and the late great Bernie Mac.
Yeah. And
they used to, before shows, they'd go to, they'd do these huge arenas, and they'd smoke cigars and they'd play cards. And apparently, what they'd do is, because a lot of these places were non-smoking anywhere, they just send the fine off ahead of them. They just send it to listen. When the fire marshal came around, listen, we've paid the fine.
Yeah.
We've paid the fine. What? We sent it ahead already. We've paid the fine. We're going to smoke. So, it's the same thing with Vince. It's that old saying, isn't it? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Yes.
Which is bullshit.
Well, it's like there's like somebody was sharing a story. Like they have this friend who's well off.
Yeah.
And he was trying to park in a place, and the friend turned to his her friend and said, "You're not allowed to park here. It's illegal." And the rich friend to her says, "Yeah, you can. It only costs 50 quid a day." And that's how the rich view fines. That's just how much it costs, So it's very...
It's like when I look at these NFL players who are like, or the NBA players, they're fined a couple of grand for doing something. And you're like, all right, well, that's like an hour's work for them. If that. Like, it's ridiculous, It's like, oh, we're going to fine them two grand for doing such a thing. Okay. I mean, at least make it 5 figures. Like, at least make it sound like it's a decent one.
Right to when Paul Heyman appeared on Raw to pay Brock Lesnar's fine. $1 It's like, oh, Stephanie had better whoop that ass.
Oh, she was fucking livid.
Yeah.
She was gonna fucking kill a motherfucker, and I believe that she probably could have killed Paulie.
That was one of those pros where I was like, they both know this is happening, right? Like, this is agreed.
Because let me hope that it wasn't $100 that he was told to bring in, and he decided to bring $1 bills in.
Yeah.
The implication of him giving the princess of the McMahon family $1 bills.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that he didn't at some point turn around and say, "Can we have some music while I do this?"
Oh.
But you know,
I was like, one of the few times there are two times that I can recall in recent memory where I have been full on, oh fuck you, Heyman, like where he's managed to get me to have that. I can
remember one for me.
Yeah, I imagine. Knock knock, you know. But for me, one of them was when he turned to Triple H, said, "We have nothing for you, but I do have something for Stephanie." And it was just like, and the other one was when he turned to Goldberg and said that your children will call Brock Lesnar daddy. I was just like, oh, fuck you.
Well, you're right. The knock knock one.
Yeah.
And then I was found for a while. I found it was that same night. Look at the fucking cell. Like that same night, I found myself saying "fuck you, Heyman" while actually cheering that he was there because the King of Swing, Cesaro.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same time he went, you know, because I am the one behind the one in 21 and 1. And every time he said that, I'd say "fuck you," and then immediately I'd be like, right, back aside. Right, it's cool.
Yeah.
The mastermind behind breaking of the streak. Fuck you, Heyman. That's good. That's clever. Well done. Like, it was just like this. It was that thing I couldn't let go, and I still can't. Like, I can actually wait until we watch WrestleMania 30. I can wait that. I can wait a while for that.
Yeah.
I can wait all day for that one. Don't get me wrong. It's a great pay-per-view. But there's like 20 minutes where I just don't remember. Similar to Taker. Like, it's just there's 20 minutes of the show I don't remember.
That's blanked out. Just no idea.
No, I didn't even. I was asking why he had a 1 in the next pay-per-view. I mean, I thought they made a mistake. At this point, Sting is a relatively newcomer to WCW as well, boss. Like, yeah. I think he'd been on TV for, at this point, maybe 9 months, maybe a year at the most. And he was at this point. He was at this point already. Like the rockets, they didn't strap a rocket ship to him. They did some of that interstellar bullshit. Like, which I watched last night. It's a great film, still holds up. Yeah. But like, yeah, like it was like some of that. He's you know, he was on a planet where every time he was on, for every minute he was on a planet, or sorry, every hour he was on a planet it was actually 7 hours on Earth, and he comes back. And he's like, I've got the main event of Clash of Champions, so I'm ready for that. Thanks, you guys. And he never looked back. Like, he generally never really looked backwards. The lowest I ever remember Sting being on a card is like mid-card, when it was the Attitude Era, and the mid-card was the beginning of the main event. Like,
yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, it is the thing, though, right?
Yeah.
And you got to give them both the due here, because it's very easy to be like,
this is Flair is making him a king right now.
Yeah, but for me, it's the stamina. Yeah. Like, fucking hell. Like, just because it's not just it's not just about how long in the match you can go on for. It's what you're doing whilst going at that.
Yeah, you can. I mean, that's one of the things. You can go an hour long in a match. Most people can. There's lots of holds and lots of like rest and stuff like that. It's one of my favourite things about the Iron Man matches are the differences in them. You know, are you just going to go full on, full out the whole time?
Yeah.
Because you can't. At some point, you'd have a stop at that point.
Yes.
But can you bring it up and down and up and down? Can you make the crowd engaged at every point in time? Now, I believe that Flair and Sting, You could watch Flair and Sting, Ricky and Flair as well, Steamboat and Flair. You watch them all day long, them sort of matches, because they've got a great ability to do so.
Yeah.
To me, Brett Shawn did it as well. Like, they were able to keep you engaged. And what kept you engaged was because it was 0-0 for the 60 minutes. You were waiting for that one fall. So every fall became a false finish.
Yes.
Some people think that match is boring because it's, nothing happens. And, we used to hear it a lot when we were a three-man show on Total Markout. Nothing happens. It was boring. Should we be lots of, but that's because, and no disrespect to The Rock and Triple H, that was his favourite Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Because there was 6 to 7 falls in the fucking entire match. And I'm like, okay, but why? Like, generally, why? Like, I'm telling you right now, if tomorrow night, not tomorrow night, if next Wednesday night, they announce that one of the takeover shows is going to be Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, baby, in an Iron Man match, I am going to be watching that match live because I know that's going to be an outstanding match.
Yeah.
But if they announce, say, it's going to be Randy Orton versus fucking... And this is no shade on anyone, but Randy Orton, say, versus John Cena, like they did in 2009, I wasn't really thrilled about that happening.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, if John Cena's going an hour, I need it to be someone like Shawn Michaels. I need it to be someone like Trips who you can get a bit of excitement to it.
Yeah, the other thing is that when you look at these Iron Man matches, it's the story of the one. Because as the timer ticks down, it's like none of these people have picked up a pin yet. So that makes that one win all that more precious. And whether it's at the very end, just before the bell goes, that you get that one victory, or whether it's after the bell and sudden death, that tells a bigger story. Because here's the thing. You have a superstar, and we've seen it before. I guarantee you can probably think of one. Not that I'm challenging you, but there'll be an Iron Man match where it's been like 3 falls to 4 or 5 to 6 or whatever numbers.
Yeah.
And clearly one superstar's lagging behind.
Yeah.
And you would think it's like, oh my God, can the other person catch up? But it isn't. You actually have a lack of energy, just like, well, he's going to have to make that up.
Yeah.
And it's not as enthusiastic as no one's picked up a victory yet. What the fuck? Is this going to go to sudden death? Yeah. And that's the question.
It's basically, you're going there, wait a minute, no, you're getting to like 50 minutes and you're going, shit, no one's picked up a point yet. And you're sitting there going, this is still a 1-4 match.
Yeah.
For me, what I loved, the two matches that, went the opposite of that, almost proved the rule, like, that you're saying.
The exception that proves the rule,
Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
They did that and they did the turn. But also, to me, and I think you noticed there, boss, Sting's cut on his chest from a chop.
Well, Ric Flair knows what he's doing.
But the other one that to me played that perfectly of the can they come back was Sasha and Bayley.
Yes.
They did that so well that you were genuinely interested.
Yeah.
Of shit, because she pulled it back with such a little time left. You're like, there's no way. Yes, it's a draw, but it's no way. This is on sudden death. And that's how they get you. That's when they should get you. Famously, obviously some of the hour-long matches you used to get, fucking Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair every night for a week, for months, would go one-on-one fucking for an hour-long Broadway, Like,
yeah.
It was one of those things that happened, some of the most recent times, though, the ones you'd hear a lot of were the CM Punk Samoa Joes, or the Daniel Bryan Samoa Joes, or Bryan Danielson at the time. You'd hear them matches from Ring of Honor for years after, when Punk was in WWE and Joe went over to TNA and Daniel Bryan obviously debuted. You heard it all the time. Oh, you got to watch the Ring of Honor matches, dude. You got to watch the Ring of Honor matches. Yeah. Especially from smart fans who, honestly, smart fans are just hipsters, but with a different fucking name. Like,
she looks so confused. Poor lass.
Nate's told me he was going to win this. He said we'd be partying all night long. Listen, love, you're going to be partying with Nate's one way or another. It doesn't matter whether victory or losing. Like, Nate's bought you a ticket. Nate's bought you a hotel. Nate's told you what was going to happen. Nate's told you what you had to do. And as you play your cards right, you're going to have time to chat. You're going to be your first to that line of Space Mountain. The line that Flair used so often during this period of time was, "Listen, honey, you can't be first, but you may be next." I generally remember on one of the shows they ended the show abruptly because Nate was starting to talk about stuff that he was not allowed to talk about. This is, their TV show on a Saturday night used to air at 5:05 or 5:06. Sorry, you can't tell. Nate would pull the lady out of the fucking, literally pull the lady out of the crowd, brought her over, and David Crockett went, "And who is this?" And as Nate was saying it, James J jumped in with a line first. And he went, "Good night, everybody." Fucking the show just ended. We gotta go. There's matches that can go an hour very rarely go an hour because of how hard it is. And one of my favorite things is if you can get a crowd that's into it at an hour and still want to see 5 more minutes.
Yes.
Then you've got something. If sometimes it's just so you can get a victory or stuff like that. I mean, it's great because I remember Daniel Bryan walked away and said he hadn't even improved, and Joe was fucking was absolutely livid, was going to kill the motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
This is something Sting doesn't get props for as well, for selling.
Yes.
He was a great seller back in the day. But
if the guy that you're fighting is... Yeah, if the guy you're fighting is making you look like $1 million, you fucking better repay that.
Oh, you give him everything and twice more, Like,
yes.
Especially if you're like a Sting against a Nature Boy at this point. Nature at this point this is his 5th championship run. At this point in his career. He's 5-time World Heavyweight Champion. He's been a former US champion as well during that period, and TV, and I think tag titles galore, right? At this point, I think Nature's been in the business for probably 10, 13 years.
Yeah.
I think he debuted mid-70s. And, you're looking at, like, Sting here, who, as I said, he's been in WCW, well, NWA for maybe a year. But he worked in the UWF beforehand for maybe another year on top of that as part of the Blade Runners with the Dingo Warrior.
Yeah.
Before he became the Ultimate Warrior. It's like, it's one of those things, it's where, like, and he's working this bear hug great. Like, he is. It's a very simple move, but look at the technique. Like, he's keeping his back to the ropes. You've got to fight me to get there. And every time he moves, he tweaks, he just, puts the pressure. Look at that. Like,
Yeah. And obviously Ric Flair making it look like...
he's made it look... And at this point, Flair's back is being broken by an airplane crash.
Yeah.
There's a history of his back injury. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's simple. It's one of those things about you don't think about when you're watching a match until you notice it and JR goes, he's got a history of back problems. And you're like, oh, fuck yeah, the plane crash. It's one of those things.
Exactly.
This is simple, old school wrestling. And sometimes, you know what? Simple is better. You don't need it. And I'm not going to sound like a fucking, one of those guys, your dad or, your auntie or your uncle, and you're talking, it's not like it used to be. But sometimes you don't need 17 springboards and a 450 and 630s and stuff like that. Sometimes a bear hug has just brought a man who is the World Heavyweight Champion down to a point where he may get pinned as a result.
Yes.
It's great psychology.
Exactly. I couldn't have put it better myself.
And especially when you look at the size of Sting.
Yes.
So I've always said this. Sting is surprisingly and deceptively massive.
Yes.
Because a lot of fans these days will see Sting like he was in AEW, or where he is in AEW on the street fight they had with Team Taz, or they'll see him in his run against Seth Rollins. The newer, younger fans. Some will probably remember him from his TNA days, where over time, obviously, he got older, so he wasn't as cut.
Yeah.
Even when he was WCW and he was the Crow, he wasn't like this. Like,
Yeah.
this is very much a different area where, you know, he's young and he's able to lift the heavyweights, get in shape, get cut, you know, like. But look at, I mean, I think it's because he's shorter. He's not a short guy by any means of imagination, but he's not as tall as a Hulk Hogan or, you know, even a Bruno. I think Sting weighs in at, well, probably weighs in about 280, something like that. You know, he's about 6'4".
Yeah.
And he's just, but here's the thing, so is Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's 6'4". But Brock Lesnar's 320. And he's not cut in shape like that. A young Brock Lesnar was 275. And young Brock Lesnar taught me there was a fucking part that if you flexed, your muscles could somehow fold your chest. Like, that was the scariest thing I ever saw.
Fucking yes.
How did he snap his fucking bone to make it muscle? Like,
yeah. It's like, that just makes no fucking sense.
Oh, Nature's on no comeback. Someone press triangle. Or Y.
And now Ric Flair's floating up to the ceiling. Oh shit.
Now we'll go back to WrestleMania 13 where the Bugs weren't there. Or WWE 13 rather than WrestleMania.
Fuck it, just get no mercy.
Which mod? We get the Feel of Bang mod so we can actually have a young Sting and then H.
Ow.
Oh yeah, that ain't gonna tickle at all. Like,
no. Ow!
I genuinely think I saw the bar bend around his body there, and then somehow straighten out by the time it came.
I don't like it.
No wonder Years isn't happy.
None of this is nice.
With his Vince McMahon pompadour he's got there. Hey, Nate said as well in a promo on the show, we're going to see what you're like, kid, when we push you into the deep water. You know, when you get to that, he's going to prove why he's a 60-minute man and you might be a 10-second flop.
Choo.
Look at that, Nate has been beaten to fucking death. Yeah, he's now the one standing above the Stinger.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was a nasty little shot. That was a nasty little shot, wasn't it?
Just Flair's like, oh, now you die.
I got you.
I got you. No, it's not hand-to-hand combat. It's hand-to-hand entertainment.
not in the NWA, it wasn't.
Wrestling's what my dad did. It's like, it's what your fucking talent does. Is it going to be the knee?
Oh, one more. That was a better one. That one. Oh, dirty little prick.
Oh, classic heel. Classic heel with a back rake.
So, you know.
Oh, the gap. Oh, Fisher can.
You know, that almost reminds me of a quote from Rachel and Friends. You know, if it's not during sex, it's just not worth it. The referee fell over from fucking Sting just falling into place there.
No, he just fell over in awe.
Jesus, Nature's really putting out all the chapters in the book here, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Ow.
Yes, he did, Tony. Hold on.
Careful, you might get disqualified. Is there champion's advantage at this stage?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Okay. It's through the middle rope.
That's why the Dusty finish used to work so well. Because you do a does he finish DQ or does he finish count out? You know, you think you've got the pinfall, but in reality, the ref, as I did before, you know, in the US tag match,
Yeah,
they were DQ'd, but they thought they'd won. You know, the count out's the same. You know, you thought the match continues, but the referee's actually counting you out. You know, I always prefer the DQ to the. I always prefer the DQ to the count out, though. It seemed more flowing. You know.
yeah.
Count out seems stupid because you're like, well, I could have heard 10.
Yeah, because and there's always just some poor twat standing in the ring like, what the fuck do I do? Like Edge's debut.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sexton Hardcastle.
What I'd love for the network to put on is the Jim Crockett Senior Tag tournaments. Like, I'd love for them to get on that because they were available for video, so they must be available for us to put on this gun. Like, I was almost like it was fed to him by Vince. Stop what you're talking about and tell them that we're live from Greensboro.
Oh, he's hulking up. I'm not sure what you would call it.
That's a scary motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
Oh!
I mean,
so referee's discretion is that it can be his own momentum took him over.
Yeah.
That's what the referee's discretion usually is.
That wasn't. Yeah, I think you've got to be. Yeah, I think you've got to be thrown over the top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's the old reason that Macho Man was allowed back in the Royal Rumble, but wasn't the next year.
Yeah,
well, he didn't throw himself. He wasn't thrown over the top rope, but he.
It was just one of those moments where I remember just agreeing with Cole, going, "No, Cole, you're right." Carly just literally, stepped out of the ring over the top rope. Oh no, you have to be thrown. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking.
You just have to go over the top rope. They play fast and loose with that rule all the time. Like,
yeah, it's like.
And then the best one I saw was Mil Mascaras in '97. Yeah. Jumps out of the ring and he's eliminated, but they were saying that just earlier they had to be thrown over the top. It's like, well, which one is it? Like,
yeah.
So I did like the fact at the pay-per-view for AEW Revolution. That like Ray Phoenix,
he's loading up the rope with you.
Ray Phoenix emphasized that he went through the middle ropes when he went to the dive. Like, no, I went through the ropes.
What the fuck, ref?
Oh, nothing seems to be working.
Is it going to be a Stinger Splash or?
Oh,
that ref
has
it out for Sting.
Are you ready? 1, 2.
That ref was
I know,
almost an
right?
ex-ref.
He's living his fucking life right now, isn't he? I don't think a genuine fucking, like, I'm going to rip you through it. Oh, like...
That ref is shit.
He's a senior referee.
That ref is shit.
Yeah, he's kind of the Earl Hebner. He bumps a lot, so he gets the top spot. I'll say it one more time. That ref is shit.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Tease it. Tease it.
Oh, tease it.
Now, also they've been making
that ref is shit.
No one's been able to get out of the Scorpion. That's their big thing. Now, obviously.
Is he just trying to hit him?
I think he's explaining what's going on. I think, he's a young enough lad to probably be an actual fan. So I think he's explaining to him what's going on.
Well, he was talking quite in depth with the former NWA alumni.
So he's sitting there going, "This is what's happening," and she's going, "Okay, thank you." And he's going,
"Yeah,
I'm a big TV star, I'm the second on the show. Yeah, I could introduce you to Fred. That's not a problem." He's not even counting. He's just saying ho. Thinks he's a godfather. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh,
Cross-eyed fuck.
oh, fucking hell. Cuckoo. Foot under the rope. God, that ref is shit.
I'm not making that a shirt. I'm trying to make sure our shirts don't have profanity. Which is hard with my fucking scenes.
There should be no profanity.
Well, I just want to make it so you can actually wear the shirts wherever you go.
Yep.
Church, a barbecue, school, work.
I like to wear my bookmark shirt. I generally do. It's fucking comfortable.
I know my MIA one and my Kaiju pocket is also really comfortable. And they're available at geekking.redbubble.com. That's G33K King.redbubble.com. Link is below. Jesus Christ, man.
Sting was the Super Cena before Super Cena.
Yeah, because they both have the same crossbody.
Oh. Oh. For all those who are wondering, by the way, I don't know who wins this.
He has no idea of any of the results tonight. So it was really fun seeing him trying to explain the loss for the Horseman before. But yeah.
I apologize. Fucking. This is just a fucking great match. I love this kind of match.
Well, we'll be watching more old school NWA. Trust me, because I've tried before, but you were not in the right place to watch it at that time.
No.
But now, yeah, we're definitely gonna watch an old school NWA.
Yeah. We're gonna get some old school.
Especially clashes, because the clashes were almost, clashes to them were as big as pay-per-views. You know, this is '88. There wasn't a regular pay-per-view every month.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, I think WCW had 2 or 3 they were starting to develop, like NWA. And the Clash of Champions were every 2 or 3 months. You know, you usually have 4 a year about that. So that kind of took the place because, you know, rather than going on TV, like going pay-per-view where you got to buy it, you've got huge events like this free on TV.
Yeah.
As long as you had the Superstation, which was pretty much everywhere in America. You just needed a cable provider.
I also feel like this kind of demonstrates something that I do feel is kind of missing in a lot of the, I don't want to say younger generation wrestlers, but in a lot of the wrestlers that you see getting a lot of the spotlight these days is they put a huge emphasis on flashiness, which I have no problem with. Flashiness draws the eye, and it's you love seeing it. Like people do get bored of certain moves, and it's understandable. But I feel like
Canadian Destroyer is becoming that for me.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm over that.
Yeah, the problem I have with it is they sacrifice safety for flashiness. Like, it's like all about, this will look flashy. It's like, whereas what you see with these guys is you have that balance of this looks fucking deadly, but I will, like, a perfect example was that shin breaker.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's got him lifted up, Sting's. What you don't pay attention to is Sting kind of doing this kind of fake headlock thing to help him keep his balance. Ric Flair, when he brings him down, make sure that it's on point, knows exactly what he's doing, you know? And Sting is the same with Ric Flair. No, at every single point, Sting is making sure that Ric Flair is protected. And I do feel that that's something that's
it does look a bit
missing.
There's a bit of maybe not of risking flashiness for safety, but there is sometimes you look at things, particularly you, because you are one who's more concerned. You know, I get wrapped up in the match, and I love that. But if you see something that just looks fucking stupid and deadly, and like both people could get injured out of it, you will just sit there and go, "No, fuck off! I'm not." That's bullshit.
I am the person you would jokingly refer to as health and safety.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh fuck, Div tell boss. He'll fucking file a report."
Yeah. We make sure that we're fucking high vis. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong. This match, every time there's been a high risk spot, Majority of them at time they have been put into their own hands. Look at the Irish ripped him into the steel bars.
Yes.
That was up to Sting that controls speed and pace.
Yes, Sting was entirely in control of his own momentum.
And Sting didn't decide to do a flip into it and land on his head or anything like that.
Well, it's been I can't remember who it was, but it was actually a fairly recent thing. There was, I think it was a WWE alumni, so someone that isn't there anymore, but was doing a recent interview, and they were talking about, I think the context might have been a botchamania kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the context was, okay, he's going to throw me over the top rope and stuff like that. And the idea is you grab someone and you let them do the running.
Yeah.
But this person was legitimately fucking trying to toss a motherfucker. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, it's like, wrestling is an art.
No, look at that. Look at that. That's so clever.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the advantage. I'll keep you in the middle of the ring. Look at the fucking...
Yeah.
And that just... that infuses that crowd. I don't think that crowd will get any louder, but it is. Like...
Sting is what Vince wishes Ultimate Warrior could have become, I feel. I
think he maybe, you know...
Sting is Ultimate Warrior done correctly.
Yeah, famously at one point, before Taker was brought in, Sid was brought in, or... Actually, no, Sid was brought in later, sorry. And Taker was there, and Hawk of the Road Warriors famously went, "You got the wrong skyscraper." And, I think it may have been the same case if someone who'd been in the UWF and had also been in the WWE may have turned around and went, "You've got the wrong Blade Runner." You know, because... But then again, it depends. Sting caught on fire in Jim Crockett because of who he's working with. And he's a baby face as well. Could he have kicked on with that New York market in the 80s?
No.
With being a baby face, you know?
I genuinely believe not.
No.
But that's the great thing about territories, though. It's like, you have your heroes. Like, a guy who is, you know, so fucking over one place, you got somewhere else, and it's like, who the fuck is this twat?
And that was the case, you know. Often the case, you bring a WCW guy into New York, right?
Yeah.
And people were like, they react because of what he was doing on WWE TV, not because of what the referees are stopping, not because of the fact of, oh my god, it's him. That even happened with Rick.
Yeah,
Flair came in '91, and people were like, oh my god, that's Ric Flair, and you know he's the real world champion he was built up as. What helped him massively was the first 3 or 4 months. Bobby Heenan was at his side the entire time.
Yes.
And then he was put up on the main event on top against other main eventers, which gave him the perception of, A, Bobby Heenan knows this guy. He's over like fucking Rover. And B, he's against main eventers. If you want to build a main eventer, you have to put him against main eventers. You can't just have him fucking drop to them the whole time. You know? It's the same thing that happened to The Rock. When The Rock started building the momentum, they put him against the main eventers like Undertaker and Mankind and stuff like that. But they also put him against Vince, and then they turned him to join Vince. That's why The Rock... You know, that's why The Rock never looked back from Survivor Series 1997. Or 8, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those things. Stone Cold. What helped Stone Cold get over? Well, he was different, for starters. You put him with $1 Million Man at the start, alright, he was a heel, we knew that. Then he cut a great promo at King of the Ring. That's one thing. That only got him so far, though. After that, his first target as Stone Cold Steve Austin in Austin 316 was Bret Hart.
Yes.
Instantly made him, well, he's a top guy.
Yeah.
No one knew how much of a top guy he was going to be, but he was, you know. It's the same thing here. Sting has been beating up jobbers, and then he turned around, and the first person he's targeted is the World Heavyweight Champion. You can't expect us to think. It's almost the Dolph Ziggler principle.
Yeah.
You can't expect us to think Dolph Ziggler is a main event talent every time you put him as a main event talent. Because for so long now, you've made him a mid-card champion at best.
Yeah.
And when he faces the main event, it's just because you need someone to build up to the next spot. You know?
Yeah.
And let him fight Kofi, or let them fight Kofi Kingston for a couple of pay-per-views so that you can get Kofi to Randy Orton.
Yeah. But I was actually just going to say there as well, it's like, it's one thing to have the the guy face off against main event talent to get them over. But even again, and you'll agree with this 100%. Just just because he didn't say it doesn't mean you don't believe it. Is that even that is not enough? Like it has to go be a marriage. Because look at what was he called? Was it Kozlov? What was he called?
Yeah, Vladimir Kozlov.
Vladimir Kozlov. They did the same thing with him. The Great Khali did the same thing with him, and it's like, were they over in the sense of that they became world champions, stuff like that? Well, obviously with Great Khali did, obviously not with Kozlov, no. But did they ever get sold with the crowd? No, and some people are saying, "Oh, Khali did." No,
Khali got over the crowd as a face, and that was because he danced.
Khali was not over with the crowd as a heel. Khali was like, "You embarrassed Undertaker, fuck you." And again, I have no problem with the Great Khali, but that was what I was feeling at the time. I was like, "You just embarrassed Undertaker, fuck off." You're telling me
I legitimately sat there and just went, "You don't put your foot on that man."
Yeah,
you pinned that man. You do not just put your foot on. I get what they did.
Yeah.
But it felt so much to me of really Taker's gonna get shit on again. You just give him a great year. Like
exactly,
you give him 06 and most of 07 where he's facing Batista and he's feuding, and they have really good matches and strong and being able to because the year beforehand he had fucking Heidenreich for 4 months. It's like really, come on guys,
it's like you look at people like Kevin Owens go against John Cena.
Oh, what a fucking debut!
Exactly
to the fucking moon. I mean, they fucked up after that, but
yeah, but it's like you can try putting people up against a John Cena, stuff like that, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get over just because they beat them. So you're right. It's like, yes, on the one hand, they do have to be beating these kinds of talent. Like, fucking the greatest missed opportunity of all time, kind of during his fault, kind of his fault, Mr. Kennedy, how he talked about in the span of so many months, he beat 7 former world champions or something like that.
In the span of a year, he beat 6 world champions, and then after that, he beat a 7th. You built him up so much, and then obviously he had the wellness policy issue, because Kennedy likes to smoke weed. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy that, enjoy it. Just be safe about it. But Kennedy, Kennedy likes the green, and he got injured a couple of times, so he was bit by a bug at one point. Yeah. But Kennedy was set up to be the McMahon bastard child.
Yeah.
And the idea as well behind... he hit behind Sting! The referee pushed him and then hit behind Sting, I forgot that. Oh, here we go. You're not getting up to the top rope that time, Mitch. Kennedy was set to be everything, and then he got injured, and then, rumour has it that Randy Orton didn't like him.
Yeah.
There was a few things going against him. But if Kennedy had been the bastard and not Hornswoggle, that storyline becomes a serious storyline and becomes a main event WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Because the idea was, from what I heard at the time, and have heard since, Kennedy was supposed to be the son of Vince. Yeah. He was going to join forces with Vince against Shane and Steph.
Yeah.
And that it would lead to him versus Triple H for the World Championship. Because they would reveal the whole, reveal the Triple H story behind it, rather than the, wink, wink, nudge, nudges that they were doing at the time.
Yeah.
So, it was supposed to be a big thing. But, things went against him. I'm happy he had a good run in TNA. Although towards the end of that, he did legitimately start becoming an arsehole.
Yes.
It's one of them things, It's like how life goes. At the same time, though, it is a wasted opportunity. The other one I would have said was for a wasted opportunity is you could have, and yes, they did the Cena and the Rock, and that was great. At some point, if you were looking for a random storyline for the Rock just to bring him back for a pay-per-view and have a little match or a little run, The Miz had so much storyline reason not to do that. It doesn't make any sense to not have done that, but at the same time, obviously there probably was scheduling conflicts or stuff like that. But you could have done that in between 27 and 28 for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But instead, you did the tag match at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Was a good main event. Hell of a lot of it to it. But I would have seen Miz be the first challenger to Rock's belt. Or, you know, it wasn't even a belt at 28. You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus Christ, man.
very nice. Have you heard that? You might have heard that it's the same as AEW and Japan. They let you know how much time's left.
Yeah.
Which you'd think, which you'd think would work against the psychology of building the matchup. But if anything, it enhances it.
Of course.
Because you're now you're going, wait a minute, Sting's only got like however long left. I didn't hear what you said. But he's got however long left. I want Sting to win. Come on, Sting. Like, it would build it up even more. It's simple things like that. Sometimes it doesn't work well because sometimes you go, Jesus, has that match been on this long already? Like, oh, fucking hell, how much longer is it going to be on for? But if you've got a red hot match and a red hot crowd like this, it works. Everything works for you in that way. Because you can hear them willing him to get back up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're generally standing on there as if they're watching a fucking basketball game, you know, like, shit,
it's almost like they're wanting to give their energy to him.
It's very, very Goku-esque.
Yeah, very Dragon Ball Z, Spirit Bomb. Let me your energy. Oh. I mean, here's how you can tell, because even I'm going, how is Sting? And I'm not a huge Sting fan, you know? No. I'm like, go on, Sting.
Although, to be fair, the vast majority of Sting that you've seen has either been him being a mopey that we get in WCW, which would have been clips in hindsight, and then the TNA.
Yeah. This is the Sting I could get behind, you know?
Yeah. Or Surface Sting. Surface Sting may be my favourite version of Sting, to be fair.
There's an intensity.
Yeah, and there's but he's still a clean-cut babyface. Like, it's really weird. It's like... Oh, you're having a routine.
What a good ref that man is. Never doubted him.
Great ref. I respect him. Well, I respect.
Never doubted him. Always knew he was a good lad. I knew he'd do that. I just knew he'd do that.
Here it comes. He hit it.
Oh my! Wait, you're not cleaner.
Boss is losing his fucking mind.
Fucking. Oh, Sting!
Sting's not even on his second win right now. He's only his fourth.
I remember this clip. I remember this at this moment only. I never know what match it was from.
I think that was in his Hall of Fame video, wasn't it? Like, him getting psyched up. I know, to be fair, it's not any hype video for Sting ever. Like,
yeah. It was about It was about Ric Flair.
Yeah.
It was a video thing about it was all like how Ric Flair was one of the greatest of all time. It's like he'd make everyone look like $1 million. Oh shit.
No one's ever got the Scorpion. His fucking head shakes, man.
Yeah.
it's like someone's put batteries in it. Like,
yeah. What the fuck? So what? It comes down to a decision.
It's a draw. Yeah, it's a Broadway at the moment. That's why they have to bring judges in. 45-minute time limit draw. And that went over like that.
Gee, I wonder who she's going to vote for.
Teddy Long pulling James J away from the crowd that are trying to rock the cage. That's a ridiculous match, but it's just it's so much fun. I love when you get a crowd like that as well. We're going to tell you what happens right after this break. Which is only advertised on their Sunday show, not their regular Saturday show.
Oh, here we go. They've decided they should do it again. Oh, gosh. Thank you, darling! Woo!
Ah, look at that little hand.
If you say a draw, I'll kick your ass. I'm gonna kick your ass! No! No! Horse shit, sir! Horse shit! Get someone out here that can make decisions!
And Nate leaves before they can even ask him for a fucking 5 more minutes.
Sudden death, this motherfucker!
Nah, Nature's gone. He's left.
Bullshit! Bullshit! What the fuck? How the fuck can he call that a draw? He fucking was passing out with the fucking Scorpion Deathlock, whatever the fuck. And it's like, oh, it's a draw. Yeah, because you're a fucking coward. That's your problem. You were too scared to make a decision, so you act like a fucking coward. Fuck you and the whore you rode in on. Fucking draw. It's a world title match. We don't fucking draw the world title match. That's why we have judges, you prick. What the fuck is even the point of view if we're doing a draw? You're there to pick a winner. What the fuck? Like, well, what do we do for the end of the draw? We'll pick someone who can decide a draw. You fucking what, mate? The fuck? Ah!
I apologise for the loud ranting noise and me dying from laughter. But, oh my god, it took us fucking 12 episodes or something, and we finally got Boss to lose his mind at a result. So much that
Boss makes sense! Why the fuck do you have judges to give a decision in the event of a fucking draw if the judges could just call it a draw? Fuck off with that absolute horsecock of shit!
It does happen in boxing.
I don't care! It's stupid!
Boss, calm down. They're just cheerleaders. Plus, Boss, you want to go to sleep, but not right now, do you? Oh, we'll pause that. So that's literally the end of the show. Like that. The end of the show, and it was, as you say, well, it's got a few seconds left. Boss has put himself into a fucking, as if he ran the marathon. Don't worry, that's just the PlayStation controller fucking knocking over. He's actually genuinely hot at that. And that's genuine emotion, and it took us fucking 11 episodes or something to get there.
I am fucking fuming.
Yep.
45.
In a great match. A great match.
Great fucking match. You one fucking coward of a cunt is allowed to go, I can't decide, it's a draw. Give me the kid! The kid probably has an idea! It doesn't even matter! One of them's fucking retired, at least he is for now. The other one's not gonna get a chance of the fucking title. And here's me, fucking 2021, pissed off over something I wasn't even there for!
Yeah, so that's the concept, Boss. This was, 33 years ago.
What is my life?
This is 3 years ago, and you were white hot. You were so hot.
This happened in 1988, and I'm angry over it.
I know.
That's racism in the world, and that pisses me off.
Well, you're pissed off at racism as well.
I know.
I know, but I need to tell people that because it didn't sound like you were. Like when you just put it like that, like. Okay, so while Boss catches a minute, so that was Clash of Champions #1. By the looks of it, we will be watching more Clash of Champions going forward. We might just continue. We might do the entire 1988 right through for the over the next few months, or at least this year when the months correspond, because Boss really enjoyed it right up until the last 2 minutes. Some great
genuinely broken.
I know. First, so here's the deal. We're gonna end it right now. We're hoping the next time you see us will be Fastlane. We're hoping. I'm not gonna say it is because it might not be. So just keep an eye checked. If you want to keep an eye on when we're dropping episodes, follow myself at Geek Streams on Twitter, which is G33K STREAMS on Geek Streams. Link is below. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Geek King G33K KING. For Boss, for everything, for whatever it ails you, Steve Jones 313 for Stevie Boss. All right.
Yeah, all over the place.
Check out merch if you want to help us out and help us out on that aspect of things. And if you enjoyed the show, tell us what you enjoy. Tell us which parts of the of the pay-per-view, not even a pay-per-view, which part of Clash that you enjoy as well. And if you've got any suggestions for other things that might make Boss lose his fucking mind in the world of wrestling, that is accessible by legal means. We know there are other ways of doing things, people, but by legal means, if it's accessible to everyone in the world, we will check it out and we will see what your recommendations are. As I said, so as always, like, comment and subscribe if you feel the need to. If you enjoy this and want to watch more, it's always appreciated. We love when you guys do that. We love when you guys watch us and help us out to give you more content that is good for you, but also good for us. And let's meet somewhere in the middle, and hopefully that'll work out. As I said, next one is hopefully Flash. If not, then you'll see us in April for WrestleMania. WrestleMania 6 is still on the cards. That will probably drop sometime around the last week of March, the first week of April. WrestleMania, we are working out how to do that. Now, WrestleMania is a 2-night event this year. So we are still trying to work out the best way to bring He's Got a Byecycle, WrestleMania 27, Tampa, Florida, nights 1 and 2 to you. At the moment, we may be doing something on Twitch on the second night to help to make it a little bit easier for all of us. But we're going to work that one out, and we're going to put all of the details on my Twitter, which you'll probably also get through Boss's Twitter. Boss usually retweets any important stuff as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Other than that, though, if you want, actually tell us what the hell it is. Tell us how you'd like to see either WrestleMania or even Stand and Deliver, Takeover, Stand and Deliver, how you'd like to see some of that done. If you'd like to see us maybe do a compilation or do just the shows as general, put in the comments below. If you got any suggestions for that, we're willing to have a look and have a look. Other than that, that's everything that I've showed everything, and Boss has showed everything. Boss is legitimately broken right now, so he's not going to speak. He's not going to speak much. One last thing, as always, you've seen it on the show the whole entire way through the show, even on the intro. Scream Tea, that is candles and sculptures. There's a friend of mine who does a cruelty-free candle and sculpture business. She's very small at the moment, but she does take orders and requests as well. So for any inquiries, go to Instagram at scream_tea_, and that is a cup of tea, not one of these. Alright, other than that though, I am the Geek King, the Cash Brew. That has been Stevie Boss, Steve Jones 313, and we'll catch you next time, because quite frankly...
Oh please, will you stop?
Alright, Gorilla. Next time, guys. Ta-ra.